All right. Well, good morning.
Wow, Ben, good morning. I'm still trying to process this brand new TikTok that we've all stumbled across of our good friend and friend of the show.
He's a friend of the show because he has no choice. He's no longer on this mortal coil to deny that fact.
Jackie Johnson has become TikTok famous.
What is this, 4 or 5 years after his demise? 5 years? 4 years?
It's been some time, man.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and AJ had sent this TikTok to us, and I almost fell off the couch.
It is a TikTok.
And by the way, when I say I fell off the couch, I fell asleep on the couch last night. Woke up at 8 o'clock this morning on the couch with a broken back.
At least it's not the floor, Ben.
Yeah. Well.
This is a TikTok of one Michael Jordan, not Michael B. Jordan, Michael Jordan.
MJ.
His royal airness, walking with...
Hold on a second.
You want to call AJ in on this?
I think I do. I think I have to. Let's see if this works. Let's see if we can get him on the blower. He might be busy doing like eating.
Or doing like dad things.
It's about pancake time there.
Is it?
Hey, it's pancake o'clock, so I'm sorry for bothering you, but I figured since we're talking about this TikTok on the podcast, that we might rope you into it.
Are we talking about the TikTok?
We're talking about the TikTok, sir.
Yes, we are.
I was explaining to our listeners that it's a one Michael Jordan walking down a sidewalk with security surrounding him, and our boy Jackie Johnson with a basketball doing every fucking thing he can to get his royal airness to sign that ball, and it is fucking hysterical.
The funniest thing is you sent this. And I told Marco, I literally fell off the couch because I had fallen asleep on the couch last night and woke up with a broken back on the couch. And this was the first thing I saw because I remember him telling me about this incident. And about he was like, it was just Michael Jordan. There was no one else there except his like entourage, his security or whatever. There was no one else asking him for an autograph or a photo or anything. I thought I had him. I rationalized everything in the book, and that motherfucker still just was a dick and blew me off. I think he was like his white whale. I think like the Moby Dick. He could not land Michael Jordan in the entire time that he did, in his entire time on this planet, and his entire time hustling and getting autographs and photo ops. He hated Michael Jordan because Jordan was always such a prick. Like, not like, no, I can't do it. Like, a prick about it with him.
It looked like he was ignoring him, just completely ignoring him.
Oh, straight up. The head of security was the guy that was getting the most aggravated as the video went on, and that was fantastic because it's like, oh, I know that face. We've all had that face with Jackie.
So, yeah, go ahead.
What's funny is I saw the video prior to it being sent to me, but I didn't even notice Jackie in the video. I just thought
that's the first thing.
Michael. I thought it was like newer. It was a newer video. Jordan was just being a dick. I didn't realize it until 3 o'clock in the morning when JoJo sends me the video, and he's like, "Oh my God, Jackie!" So then I watched it and I thought, "Oh, that's funny. That guy looks like Jackie." And I was like,
"Nope."
I didn't even think about it. And then, like, I don't know. I was half asleep, maybe. I don't know. I watched it. I went back to sleep, and then this morning, this all happens.
Yeah.
By the way, because this video is easily like 10, 15 years old. If
he's
Oh, he was Fat Jackie then, too.
Who filmed this? Who doesn't know anyone in the filming that they're filming, saves it for 10, 15 years, finds it, and goes, oh, shit, I got to put this on TikTok.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's funny. It's funny because for 99.99999% of the people that have ever downloaded TikTok, this video is a Michael Jordan TikTok.
Yeah.
And for like us eight, the eight of us that would even pop for this, believe me, I sent it to like 12 people. But as soon as you sent it to me, when I saw Guess Who and everyone else on the planet is like, oh, that's Jordan. I didn't even recognize it was Jordan at first. And then I saw Jackie, and I thought literally someone was ripping Jackie. And go, Guess Who? And then
Jackie's being deep faked into shit.
And then I watched it. No, because I knew this. I vividly remember him describing this moment to me. That I watched it like 10 more times, and I'm just laughing because I realize it's literally someone who's just like a sports fan or something that was walking backwards, filming this whole thing, kind of TMZ style, kind of,
Because he's seeing Jackie die in the vine here.
See, something you would, but no, he's just filming Jordan. And I think years later, someone watched this and saw Jackie trying desperately to get this autograph on this ball and getting rejected, definitively rejected, and thought it was funny and posted as a TikTok. But I think in the day, someone was just there filming, like thinking they'd sell the clip to TMZ or something. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but it was long ago that I think, I don't think Jordan was an active player at this point when he was, so I don't know how long. But Jackie was moving without limps and other ailments he got later in life.
What if the rib was?
Well, but here's the thing. What makes it even weirder is he died June 18th, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we figured out today?
Did we?
Blake said he died June 18th. He died this week.
So literally,
what are the chances that video goes viral the week he died?
6 days.
How many years is it?
Yeah, 6 days from today.
Hold on one second, gentlemen. I'm going to reach over to the Jackie beer. Still full. All right. Just making sure.
Do you have the beer out? You took the beer out for the
Yeah,
occasion?
it sits in a koozie on the desk here while we record.
So we can visually, I have touched the item, and Jackie has not come back to claim his beer yet.
but he has come back to claim a spot on TikTok. And I love how you started getting a little agitated in the conversation about how many views he was getting. You were getting competitive.
Blake's like, oh, he's more viral than you. I was like, hold up, pal. He's got 28,000 views. Slow it down.
Yeah, but the day's early. I think this thing's got legs.
Yeah.
The rib's going to be that this thing gets like 3 million views and is bigger than any video you ever had on TikTok.
Because like Earl will share it. Like everybody who was
I sent it to.
Oh my God.
I sent it to Earl.
Earl's got reach.
Earl popped.
And it's funny.
I don't know that he's going to share it. Like how many people in his circle know Jackie other than us? Maybe AJ, Francis.
No, but the video of sad fan who can't get Jordan autograph is fucking funny on its own right, and it's gonna go pretty viral.
That's true.
And what if the rib was like Jordan knew Jackie and knew he was the guy who always, and like for some reason Jordan just decided like that guy's never getting an autograph.
That was Raven with us back in the day. For like 2 years, Raven purposely blew us off, and then we caught him in a parking lot in Orlando for an ECW show, probably at that zoo club. You remember, AJ. They used to have wrestling there. And I think, and then we were like, listen, we'll just pay you for him. And as soon as he heard money, he was like, okay. And we paid him like $5 an autograph. He signed like 100 things for us. And everyone made money that day, and everyone was happy. But he used to take pictures with us and hang out with us and be cool with us, and he knew Jackie, but he would refuse to sign for us because that was the inside rib. So yeah, but yeah, Jordan. I don't think Jackie ever was a blip on Jordan's radar to the point where he was like, I'm going to fuck with that kid. I wish it was the case. God, I wish it was the case.
Even if it's that moment, like Jordan's just walking and he sees this guy trying so hard to get his attention, and Jordan's just one of his like, it's just going to be funny as fuck. No. Yeah. And just fabes him.
Well, I sent this to Shane David, who's also an autograph guy. And he was like, yeah, he used to blow me off all the time, and I would model his clothing. And I'm like thinking, what? But then I remember that he used to wear head-to-toe Jordan, Nike stuff. And he's like, I would be wearing all his shit, and he would still blow me off. As if that would make a difference. But maybe it would.
That makes it weirder.
It would. Actually, that's so Jordan to, like, wouldn't sign for someone that was wearing, like, competing clothing.
No, it's It's pretty interesting that on a random day in June, our boy Jackie is TikTok famous.
It's hilarious, but it kind of freaked me out for a second. Like, I'm like, how does he get on TikTok like that?
Here's the other thing. How many more videos like this are like just out there in the ether?
There's a great video. I don't know who has it. It's in our I don't know who has it, but there's a great video of Jackie in his declining days physically, when he couldn't hustle as much. He was chasing after Snooki for an autograph at WrestleMania.
Oh my God!
Coming out of, I think, the airport, and he asked Lou to get a picture of him and her, and they were kind of like, it was one of those like, all right, we'll do it if we're, one of those like walking shoots. I'm not going to stop for you kind of deals. And Lou took it, and it was the blurriest, fucked up picture.
Like a Bigfoot video?
It was like, yes, it was like a Bigfoot video. And it was like literally the cusp of, see, Lou would have gotten away with this if it was back before you had the cameras on the phones. Because we used to do this way back in the day, and we all had the disposable cameras, and you wouldn't know what your pictures looked like until you got home and got them developed. And then, but this was like, I mean, when was the Snooki WrestleMania? That was like 10 fucking years ago.
Fuck if I remember.
That was like 10 years ago at this point. So, yeah, the cameras on the phones were shitty. So Lou took this photo, maybe on a digital camera or maybe on a phone, and it was, like you said, it was like the Zapruder film. It was like fucking, it was like Bigfoot footage. And there's a video somewhere of the whole procession of him chasing after her, them getting the photo, and then Jackie looking at the photo and fucking cutting a fucking promo on Lou like you've never seen, because the photo was unusable, and he tore into him. And you had like one of those you had one job type fucking things. He was yelling. and Jackie, like when he got mad at you, no matter what it was for, eventually he would run down the whole history of what he's done for you and how could you fail him in this moment.
This one singular moment.
Like, this was how important getting a picture with Snooki was. Oh.
He was an odd duck.
So So there's some great there's some footage. I mean, we've got some good footage of Jackie out there.
I have some of him just sitting on a couch drunk. He was singing a song in a hotel room or something.
Yeah, he was singing along to the song, and he was looking at the lyrics on the fucking phone.
And I'm just all coy with my video. I'm like, I gotta get this for
when
posterity.
I snuck the photo when they rolled the chicken tendies in the fucking.
My
God! AJ was there for that one.
So AJ, how's it feel that a dead man is succeeding at TikTok?
Well, hey, perfect timing today. Perfect timing.
Where are you pulling into there? I hear you driving somewhere. Donuts? Publix? Where are we today?
What's that?
Jesus.
It sounds like you guys are in a fucking tunnel over there.
Right,
we are in a tunnel. We're
because your phone sucks and you're on the move.
We're also in a tunnel.
You're in the tunnel. You're in the tunnel.
We're in the same spot we always are.
Where are we, AJ? Where did you just pull up?
You're in the fucking tunnel. That's what I know.
Where are you?
Where are you?
I just dropped Nick and his friend off at basketball camp.
Basketball camp.
Yeah.
It's summertime.
So he's on the move.
Children are no longer in school.
I'm always on the move.
I think the scale would beg to differ.
Right, I dropped them off. I'm going to get coffee. The guy's like, you can come inside. He gave me the thumbs up. I was like, yeah, okay, later maybe. Give two shits. I'm trying to get some coffee here. I got a massive headache. I was gonna say is so JoJo sent this to me at 3:00 in the morning. Obviously wakes me up for this. I paid no attention to it because I thought it was just joking. And then this morning I realized it was Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
And then JoJo, I remember. We may still have the video somewhere. After Jackie died, JoJo was working at Walmart, and he got a call that the shopping carts had been moving in one of the aisles, the store was closed, and they were an alarm went off, and he watched the video, and he may still have the video. I'm not even kidding you. The shopping carts moved, and there is a case of Bud Light sitting like in the picture view, like on the shopping cart, and the shopping carts moved and the Bud Light's there. He's like, I don't even know why the Bud Light would be there and how the shopping carts moved. I was like, it's that motherfucker. He is the rib that just keeps on ribbing. Like the Dolphins emails I still get every fucking week
Yeah, trying to get you to buy tickets.
to sign up for season tickets.
Yeah.
I've never signed up for the Dolphins in my life. Like, yeah.
One day you're just gonna get like
Fucking Jackie.
one day you're gonna have enough of it. Like 1 year, you're just gonna have enough of it. And you're like, fine, I'll buy your fucking tickets. Just stop talking to me.
This is the idea. It's the slow
It's
conversion.
this long burn.
It's a slow conversion. I mean, you don't have an AFC team anyways. Might as well be the Dolphins. You're a
Well,
Giants guy.
I'm going to get coffee. You fellas have a good
all right,
time. I'm
okay.
going to go get some
So,
Panera Bread.
don't let us get in the way of you.
Maybe a little bagel, a little French toast bagel.
Don't let us get in the way of
I just
stuff
had
in your face.
I just
here.
had some blueberry Pop Tarts. That was
and 2 cans of Sprite.
fucking
breakfast
I'm
of
only
champions
halfway
here.
through the first can.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Just
him.
throw him under the bus like that.
buddy, I woke. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck it.
man.
I'm back to the.
Wait,
I'm back to the
question is,
hoodies.
has he tried the popcorn?
He hasn't tried the popcorn yet.
What popcorn?
Oh, buddy, the Smart Food popcorn.
What popcorn?
The
he says?
Smart Food popcorn, limited edition, Krispy Kreme.
Oh, is it on premise?
No. I got a bag yesterday, but I ate it all.
Okay.
Whoa, you ate a. Oh, wait, you didn't tell me this. You got a bag and ate it all yesterday. You fat fuck.
New intel.
I'm not
Right.
denying any of this. The fat fuck part, or the me not telling you any of it because you're gonna call me a fat fuck. Yeah. I think Marco needs to get on it. It's at Publix.
I think he needs. I mean, Billy Fives tried it for Christ's sake.
Right. Billy Fives tried it on the air Thursday for the Friday podcast
Oh, that's funny.
and settled the argument between me and AJ. And of course, as usual, I'm right. So, so on that, we'll let you go.
He really settled it. He was just like, it's good. It's not like.
Oh, no.
special.
We got to go. You're breaking up. You're going through a tunnel. You're going through a tunnel, pal. All right, we'll talk to you later there. Go stuff
Goodbye.
your face, fatty.
Goodbye.
Bye, fatty.
Okay, bye.
Tubby. There. He's
So-
by the way, he is never getting in the ring again. He's too fat. He's not trying at all.
He's too fat. Not serious.
And now that like the Gangrel date got canceled because of the Gangrel drama, which Billy kind of cleared up a little bit also. Yeah. I'll tell you. No reason to repeat it here. But that we have no date right now for AJ to have a match with. And
we need AMC Stock Wrestling.
We will. That's next week. It's blowing up. It's gonna blow up next week. By the way, if you have any money, you should put some in there. But that's another side thing. He and I'm gonna politic very hard for him not to go do this Rusty show because I'm afraid that's gonna end up being his last match ever.
Mm.
And it'll be a shit show where he's working with 2 guys that basically I don't know, like reffing or sitting in or just sitting there watching them work and then interjecting himself for 30 seconds till he gets winded and then popping back out of the match. I don't know what kind of final match that's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be very rewarding for him.
No.
And it's with 2 guys that I mean he's worked with ERA before, I'm sure.
Yeah, somewhere.
But and CJ O'Doyle he's probably worked with also. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. That's not, his dream was to have his final match with Billy Fives. He needs to have it with Billy Fives. And if he can't, I'm just afraid he's going to do this and then never be motivated to do the other thing because he's going to have a sour taste in his mouth. Kind of like I have a bone pick with you, Mr. Stuff in the Basement, who's been kind of floating around the edges. Look at your face.
What are you talking about?
You're Mr. Stuff in the Basement all of a sudden, like the fucking Rocky Balboa.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm just having some fun.
Just it's you see one fucking animated thing of you getting your ass kicked on ESPN, and all of a sudden you want to.
I promise you.
Listen.
I promise everyone listening. I promise everyone that will ever meet me from here on out. I would never, ever get back in that ring again because of like a Grayson Cummings type. Not.
Well, excuse me, go Boone Gator.
Oh,
Boone?
yeah, Boone Gator Boone, yeah, whatever.
Let's not break kayfabe here. Let's respect those that have come since.
King Gator Boone. And no disrespect to him whatsoever, but now that's not what's going to get me back in a wrestling ring. Just in case, I need to clarify that. It's clarified now. That would not be the reason that I would ever do anything
I didn't really
again.
read the thread.
I'm just having fun
that
because it's fun.
that it was on, but I think someone agitated him into calling you out.
Yeah, AJ.
Okay.
AJ started all, and then Blake.
He does. He has. That dude has basically tried to steal your whole look.
It's very
Look at
interesting.
you.
It's very interesting.
You got a twitchy eye over there.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I mean, I guess it's kind of flattering that someone would model their wrestling career after.
Yeah,
you.
I'm if he wants to choose a failed South Florida indie guy from 10 years ago, then all power to him, buddy.
Yeah, but what if in the great cosmic whatever, great cosmic fucking whatever, which is typical for us.
Yeah.
That the anvil would fucking come out of nowhere and drop on our heads. That he gets over and gets signed, and
all power to him.
Yeah, you'd be happy with
all
that?
Power to him, man.
Recycling your deal and making it work.
Whatever, man. I've made my peace with all that shit a long time ago.
Good, because I was getting a little nervous that you were talking the same fucking talk this fat fuck's trying to walk, and
I've done the math, Ben. I've done the math.
Yeah,
I know.
Anthony obviously has not.
I know exactly what it would take. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. I know exactly the commitment it would take for me to feel good to step back in that ring. I ain't giving that commitment, buddy. Not anytime soon. I got a fucking kid on the way. What are you? This is all great talk, even for me, because some of this stuff, the stuff in the basement, shit, and all that. That you're like, you start to kind of feel, but at least I stop myself and go, "What are you fucking doing, asshole?" It'd be 6 months before you could even think about some nonsense like this. If you got in a ring right now, you'd bump one's vomit on the fucking little girl in the front row, give her nightmares forever, and it would be embarrassment for all involved. You're not doing that shit. I mean, I'd grab a microphone and rip you to pieces. That's great. I love that. That's why I want to do the live commentary thing with Blake. I think that'll be the best thing we ever do. And I'll never be asked back by anybody. But yeah, I know. I'm not willing to give that commitment, and I don't have the time to give that commitment if I wanted. If I was willing.
Well, the best rib is going to be if I could convince you and AJ to not go do the show.
So you don't have to go.
So so I don't have to go, but so that, or B, that Blake's stuck there.
Blake, the only reason he's there is because of AJ, and now no one's there but him. That would be fantastic.
I mean, Blake wasn't going to do it if he wasn't getting paid. But so at least if he's there, he's making some money. But the rib would be that we all decide not to go, and he's a man on an island all by himself.
I go back and forth every day. Literally, I'll wake up and go, "Fuck wrestling! What the fuck, man?" But then the next day, I woke up and I was like, it could be fun just to watch. If nothing else, to affirm why I drew my line in the sand when I did, and I haven't crossed it since.
I'm trying to avoid bumping into fuckface.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fuck faces I'm trying to avoid.
Recurrent fuckface.
Yeah, I know.
Seth.
Yeah.
And
have a scene happen.
Yeah, because
because between the two of us, it's guaranteed a scene happens.
Yeah, and listen, let's be honest. Like you and like Anthony, I am also in no shape to have a physical altercation these days.
You were at T-shirt stage last week. You were out of the cocoon.
No. I'm still in T-shirt stage, but I was just feeling the hoodie this morning. Yes, yeah. It was the cleanest thing.
Yeah.
It had the least amount of fucking food stuck to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. I at this point, I would like go be I would love to just like sit in the back of the room like we usually did. Have like people like rotate around us as they would. We just have our fun, and just watch the show and just take it in for what it is. And I would just like to be affirmed. Like I would go, oh well, I've had these thoughts of maybe possibly eventually stepping back in the ring. Well, maybe if I go to this show from beginning to end, I could walk away going, oh yeah, not only is that not why is that totally the reason why I left, but fuck this.
You would think that would be a reaffirmation
Yeah.
to stay away.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like it wouldn't be. You would because you want it to be that, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be a great experience. Everyone's going to be happy and shiny.
Absolutely
and
no way that happens.
rainbows. You say that, and then you're gonna like catch a whiff of fucking nostalgia or something. The smell of fucking of the mat or the buzz of the energy of the room or something, and you're gonna like fucking get the bug, and then you're fucked.
The only
fucked.
thing that would truly excite me was what me and Adrian were talking about a month ago, and we haven't spoke about it since. It was just like a lightning in a bottle kind of thing, but we both were like, yeah, that would be really cool. And then I guess
neither of you were like, yeah,
there was an opportunity to take it further, and we both went, it was a good talk. It's not worth the commitment to be in shape to do anything, man. And that's the one thing about like professional wrestling that I would like to think people just don't understand is it is not that easy. I know you look at some of these people in the fucking business and you're like, well, these motherfuckers, they get booked and they couldn't be more out of shape or useless. How the fuck, what are you talking about? It's like,
but they have no pride in themselves.
Not only that, but they've still been doing it and their bodies are acclimated to being in that ring. It's a different world in that wrestling ring, man. And
they have those bump calluses or whatever.
It takes a toll on you. It takes some time for you to get back to speed with that. And quite honestly, I've got nowhere to do that now. Because I'm not driving down to Miami to whatever nonsense that is.
Magic City
I don't even know if CCW has a school anymore. I know they run shows, but I've heard hide nor hair about, and I haven't asked Blake, but if there was a school yet still attached.
I don't know. I mean, I remember last I ever
Since
heard
the great exit of the Great Babu.
Yeah, Pablo was the guy running the school, so I don't know if there
and with
is
all
one
the shit that went down with him, I don't know if they have a school. And Dave no longer has his school.
Well, he moved his school to the Magic City deal.
Oh,
this is part of the Billy Fives info. I guess I'll tell you.
Okay.
Him and Craig had a falling out. So,
yeah, that's obvious.
And then Craig, like, I think approached the Magic City people about like buying the school or what, buying something like that. And I think they just picked up the phone, called Gangrel, and said, your partner's going behind your back, blah blah blah. And then I guess they worked a deal out where it's like, bring your students here, run our. I think they had a school, or maybe they didn't. I don't know, but they had a facility to do all this.
Magic City Casino,
Magic City Wrestling or something it's called, I guess. I think I assume it's affiliated with them. That
blows my mind.
Yeah, that there's some kind of promotion called Magic City Wrestling. And there's been pictures recently of them, the group shots in the ring, after a training session. There's been like 2 of them in a different building with the new little placard with the logo of that promotion. So Dave's hitched his wagon to them, and they're doing their thing there. Basically, I mean, sort of like picked up where they didn't leave off, I guess. And it was kind of one of those deals where I think it was like he went into the GCW thing that day, said, this is what's happening. Anyone that wants to come with me, I'm going over here. Everyone picked up and left with him, and that was the end of GCW as we know it. I think he's trying to sell whatever assets he has, like if he has a ring or equipment or whatever. I think he's selling that stuff. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's. Yeah, my mind's blown.
Yeah, it's total local indie wrestling drama.
It's a long drive now for a lot of people to go down all the way to Magic
Well,
City
especially if you were already doing a long drive to Hollywood.
Yeah.
To train, like say you're in Boca. Yeah, like you're in Boca or even farther north, to come down to Hollywood. I mean, fuck. To try and talk me into going to Hollywood? and I'm way closer.
You're like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, we're like 10 minutes. That's still a haul these days. Post-COVID era, that's a long trip. So going further south. Yeah, it's a bit of a ask, but then again, now you're in a different area. Maybe you get other people that are interested because now you're closer. So it's a give and take, I guess.
That's very, 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 very close to George. I'm going to wonder what day, I should say, I see the picture shared of Mr. Petuanto in that building.
Make it a visit.
And make it a deal, probably.
He may not even be aware of what's going on. How?
Yeah, you know why?
How
we only know because fucking direct involvement.
I mean, how much of a toe does George have in wrestling these days? Anyways, or is he just kind of done for now?
I think he's been. I haven't spoken to him.
Yeah, see, I don't know if
it's
even on his list of priorities these days.
He's just raising kids and shit, man.
Yeah,
which I understand.
He's like, "Where's all this money come from?" Oh, right, I'm not running wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
I'm actually able to pay my bills and buy nice shit for myself. My kids have shoes. Whoa. Fuck.
Oh.
And then you're like, fuck wrestling. I'm not giving that up.
Yeah.
I think that's what Mark did too. He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can afford things again. And I don't have stress and headaches every day from assholes. So, yeah.
When he shared all those engagement pictures the other day, I hope it was like, I thought he was already engaged.
No, I think they set the date.
Oh.
So now, quietly and respectfully, without bringing it up, I'm waiting to see if we get invites.
We better get a goddamn invite.
Well, you should. You invited him to yours, so quid pro quo.
You know what showed up on the feed today?
No.
You and Oliver's matching.
I know. Yeah. I saw that because he reposted it.
You have to repost it every year.
Well, I don't have to. Between you and Oliver, it gets taken care of. Yeah, we showed up with this basically the same suit. I think mine was a tiny bit darker.
It was a great twin situation.
We both had gray suits with like turquoise ties or something.
Yeah, it was a combination where you're like, no one else is gonna wear this combination.
And then you show up and you're like, God damn it. Yeah.
Oh man, talk about a fun day. That was a fun day, Swifty's wedding.
Yeah. Well, what was funny was the other picture that's in my memories from that is a group picture that Mark's ex took of like we're sitting there right before the wedding starts, and it's like kind of like a group selfie picture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, look at all these people that don't talk to each other anymore.
I remember that day mostly was as we got to Tampa and we're in the hotel and remember all the fucking
the fire hot NXT divas that were hanging around. Like, I guess they were staying at that hotel too, and they were like leaving for breakfast or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even remember which three they were because I did. You didn't recognize them because they weren't anything yet. But I have a feeling at least one of them was one of the Iconics.
Yes.
And there was like, it was like a blonde and two brunettes, I think. They were smoking hot.
It was one of those things.
And we were like, we were all like, what the fuck?
It's one of those things where it's super weird. It's like, because
I think we deduced it kind of after the fact that they were.
I fucking almost, I mean, like, listen, they're either cheerleaders, models, they're up, there's a thing. So, and this is for anybody out there who's like, I want to be a wrestler. Like, when you walk in a room, if heads don't turn, chances are you're not. I mean, these women just like, you see them on TV and everything, and you're like, yeah, whatever. See them in real life's a little different.
Well, these particular WWE ones, WWE has embraced diversity a little bit.
Yeah.
So now you have a couple that wouldn't turn heads, so to speak.
Yeah.
But they have. Most of them have another quality. Like, let's say Shayna Baszler's never going. Look, I don't want to get fucking killed for knocking people's looks. I'm not knocking people's looks, but I'm just saying that Shayna Baszler does not look like a typical off the cover of a magazine girl.
Yeah.
And she's also kind of a tomboy MMA girl, so she doesn't even try to look like one of those. I think a lot of times she's not interested in makeup and looking quote pretty and stuff like that, which is fine. But she has another quality to her, which is that she's a total badass, and like she legit knows how to fight, and that aura comes off. There are other people on their roster that are just related to someone, and have no qualities worth being on the WWE roster. But for the most part, all the women are like, at least once they're all made up and done with their extensions and everything, they're pretty stunning.
Yeah.
And you
can instantly tell
as you start to get into sub levels of wrestling.
Yeah.
Then you start to get into,
you
all makes and sizes and colors and whatever.
You get a lot of people with a lot of funhouse mirrors thinking they're something they're not.
Yeah,
which is
that's
it is.
The body. Listen, if you're a good wrestler, you're a good wrestler, and and by wrestler I mean entertainer. I don't mean like you can fucking every headlock and wrist lock.
Yeah. Wrestling's dead.
Right. But if you can evoke a response when you're in that ring, that's what you're expecting.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great, but yeah, why am I starting? I really want to get into knocking the body positivity thing again, and I don't want to go there.
You're just circling that drain there, buddy.
Because you get these false senses of whatever, and these people are in their own echo chamber. So let's say someone on another promotion who's like, listen, she's deluding herself. She's portraying herself as something she's not. When like they're trying to be glamorous and this, that, and the other, and they're not. They're something else. They still would be applicable as a pro wrestler, but they're portraying themselves as something that they don't qualify for. And if you just stopped like square pegging that round hole, and said, okay, I'm not this. I'm the powerhouse, the beast, the whatever. I'm not the glam fucking 110-pound, that type. You'd do better. You'd succeed because you're not trying to fucking fit something you're not. But then you get all this body positivity stuff, and then in your own echo chamber, which is called your social media, you have your followers. That now, granted, you have that 10% that are gonna fucking try and either be truthful or actually be hurtful because they're malicious. But you're in this little echo chamber that reinforces all of your your decisions that aren't the best for your career. Like, I'm fake booking this because I don't want to talk about anyone specifically. But when you're like trying to portray yourself as something other than what's going to work best for your career, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, you're great. Keep wearing that thing that makes you look awful because let's be." Oh, what am I doing? I'm trying to not do myself in a hole here, and you're just quietly fucking sitting there enjoying it.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, we're done with this.
I'm done talking about. I've experienced all of this, by the way. You get stuck in your own echo chamber pretty easily, and then you get to a point to where enough people are giving you the validation that you don't.
Not just women. Let's broaden this back out to the people you were referring before. These people that really aren't qualified to be wrestlers. They just have the bump calluses.
It doesn't matter what's swinging or not swinging between those legs, buddy. There's everybody in this business can look in the mirror one day and go, I'm totally something I'm not.
Right.
And it's pretty easy to have like a really good match and have like a really good buzz and having everybody giving you all that adulation and shit, blah, blah, blah. And for some reason...
Or to be like the shits, but everyone in the back, nobody has the balls to be honest with anyone. Like a real critique is you benefit more from being told what you did wrong than what you did right.
I will tell you at the very beginning, it wasn't like that. Very beginning when I started in Miami and stuff, we tore each other apart after our matches.
Right.
Because it was the only way to get better. Especially when you're in like this quasi background.
Also, it builds the thick skin and all that other shit.
And you need to hear this shit. Like, hey man, hey Marco, that thing you were doing, we can't do that. There's times where I tried a bunch of like. There was a phase I went through where I tried to wrestle more like a cruiserweight.
The irony is if everyone's being delicate with each other and everyone's feelings, it doesn't do you any good because there's this thing called the internet now.
Yeah.
And they're not going to go easy on you.
Yeah.
So this keeping you saving your fragility here is going to kill you once you get to a certain level.
Which is exactly what's happening in professional wrestling now.
Right. That they can't handle the success because the success comes with all that criticism that they never heard.
Yeah. If you have a bad match now, nobody's going to tell you.
Yeah.
They're just going to go, hey, man, suck it up, Tiger. Get it next time. So, that might even be like the strongest criticism you reach. Where back in the day,
even when you get to the high levels,
I'd be like,
there's so many, how many Arn Andersons are there ageing left, and how you're starting to get into the next phase of guys that were kind of those tweeners that are probably like, well, I want to keep my job. I don't want to piss anyone off. I'm not gonna.
I remember. There was some. I can't fucking think who it was. Who very critical of it. Kind of like if you'd go up and ask Billy what he thought about your match, he's gonna be very, very, very honest with you.
Except maybe even Billy might be conscious of the day and age and his friend. Like, for example.
Oh, now maybe. When I was asking him.
No. But here, even when you were asking him, if it was in a school environment, he might respect the fact that this is a business and not want to drive off paying customers to Rusty or now to Dave or whatever. There might be a line he doesn't cross in that environment compared to like if you ask him at a show, independent of that stuff. He's going to be honest with you. Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely. If you asked him like at the school, he's going to be a little more diplomatic.
But that's a whole different.
Right.
That's a whole different place.
Right.
I mean, I can't even tell you all the fucking so two guys would come up with a spot and they'd run it, and everyone at the school would look at it. And it would be a shit spot, but that's not the point. The point is that's where you do all that shit.
Well, that's where you're supposed to suck.
Yeah, that's where you're supposed to suck. So it's just like then you're in an echo chamber full of everybody who's trying to improve. Oh well, that spot sucks, but hey, if you did this, this, and this, and try this, now all of a sudden, hey, maybe you got something.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem is most people are doing that shit and trying it in front of live crowds for the first showing, and that rarely works out unless you know what the fuck you're doing.
Well, what is that a case of not getting enough schooling? Or
yes, if there's not a school available and you're just working shows, that's the big thing.
Here's the problem: is like I think a lot of school. It's a bad example. Well, no, maybe it's not. But I don't even remember what the example is. But specifically, but in the general thing, certain schools wouldn't let you take gigs until they were confident you were ready because you're representing them.
Yeah, exactly. And
some schools don't give a shit, but
I will tell you that all my biggest learning curves happened when I stayed in extended times.
It was Camille. I was watching an interview with her.
Oh,
and she was talking how she kind of defied the Dudleys a little bit and had heat with them because she started taking some gigs before they gave her the fucking thumbs up to do them. Oof. I think everything's worked out now, but. I don't think there's heat, but I was seeing an interview recently, and she was talking about that, and she was like, because she just won the NWA title. I don't know if that means anything to anyone. The NWA. Anymore.
I wish it did.
But I mean, there's people there that
it's still cool.
There's good people there.
It's still cool. I mean, it has the longest lineage.
Yeah, no, but I mean, whatever. I mean, I've watched the show. For me, it's a rough watch, but there's on any show there's some decent wrestlers. But she's impressive to me.
Yeah.
Like she works hard, at least physically.
Yeah.
I don't know about her work in the ring, but yeah, she mentioned that she had gotten a little bit of heat from them because they hadn't kind of given her the final like.
Well, now most schools run their own shows, and then guys will get booked out of that. So that way of doing it now has changed to where it's like, hey, we're gonna start putting you on shows. And you're only given the spot to do what you're capable of. Like nobody's given an inappropriate spot for the most part. Like the GWA stuff, Dave seemed to properly book structure those shows as far as people's skill level.
Well, on the casino shows, I guarantee you had way less students on them.
Oh, absolutely.
than on the student
but
shows.
those that he did were actually ready to
Right,
be on
right,
the
right,
show,
right.
as opposed to, well,
Right,
we'll
right.
see.
Right. Well, because people didn't pay to come see
Yeah.
students learning as they fail. You know what I mean?
And what sucks,
That's for the free student shows.
and
or
what
whatever.
sucks is I listen.
If they were free, I don't even know if they were free.
I liked being told if what was wrong with my matches.
Yeah.
I really did, because I was like, because then I could do one of two things. I could look back on the tape and go, oh, they're right, that sucked. Or I could go like, well, I don't agree with you, but I'm going to watch this until I see where you're coming from, because I always thought like you want a match that like everyone can enjoy. So he's not going to be the only one who hated that spot. What was about that spot that was aggravating? Who didn't sell what? What transition didn't work into it? Would that spot have worked? You know, I did that. I did that shit all the fucking time, man.
Well, but everyone's got.
Yeah.
It depends where you want to be in wrestling, because everyone's got different tastes, and this.
And nowadays, spot, it doesn't matter.
As
what happens in the ring doesn't matter anymore.
Well, but I think you're missing what I'm trying to say is that it is like art, like any kind of art. Everyone has a different taste. So you go, and what you don't like, the fans might like, or vice versa. So we had this talk about AEW last week. It's like it's not for you, I guess. But everyone that paid to show up had a hell of a time.
yeah, wrestling.
Everyone loved it, and so you can't fault them too much for doing everything they did on that show, because the responses were they got the right responses. You didn't have. We thought the matches went too long, but as we're like going, oh, this is too long, they're still 100% into the match. They're chanting along, they're clapping, they're responding exactly the way they're supposed to be. So was it too long for us? Yeah. For the fucking 5,000 people that bought the tickets for that show? No, it was perfect. So what do you do?
I agree with you. I always stand by my point, though. Like, yeah, but if you did that match right, that crowd would be twice as loud, easily.
Possibly.
You know,
but they're
because they don't know. Wrestling fans are stupid.
Except
they can be as smart as they think they want to be, but they're stupid.
Except that they've now kind of, there's a generation that's been raised on this stuff. So this is the new norm.
I know. And then when it happened,
so maybe when that other thing happens, they're like, oh, that match wasn't long enough. These guys, I would have loved to see them go another 10 minutes. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's all the conditioning.
I've because I listened to Cornette, I listened to all this stuff. I started listening to the Angle stuff and the Jarrett stuff.
I'd rather listen to Mark Henry. I think him and Bubba seem to have the better fucking podcasts out there on this stuff. To be honest with you, they're both on that Busted Open network with La Greca. And that guy's a ranting, raving maniac.
I've seen some of
very
his stuff.
entertaining to listen.
Yeah, he is.
But I apparently like
yeah, but aren't they talking more about today's product?
Yeah, they're not. Well, but those are two old war horses that have been around 30 years in the business. So ideally, some stuff's going to relate to them and their experiences. They're going to tell stories anyways. But it's not a show about telling stories. No.
Here's why I like listening.
But that's Cornette responds to current stuff every week.
And then here's what I love about Cornette. Here's what I love most about Cornette. Cornette will take something that they do on AEW or WWE, and it's garbage. For whatever it is, it's garbage. He'll rant on why it's garbage. But if they had just done it this way, it'd have been great. And you're like, oh, wow, that's great. He's like, I got this idea when fucking Bobby Fulton did it in fucking 19. And it's just like, and I the more I listen to this stuff and the more because listen, I get home, smoke a bowl, I start working on my airplanes, and I listen to fucking podcasts. It's pretty much like my thing right now. Like the first hour of my day post work is listening to wrestling podcasts or Joe Rogan in the fucking garage while I'm working on my planes.
It's funny you listen to wrestling podcasts, being that you're like,
but
you're so viscerally anti-wrestling.
Today's wrestling.
That's all we've got.
I fucking will watch a Bret
it's
Hart
funny.
Dynamite Kid.
It's so funny because you were in the business that you're stuck.
I am.
You're stuck in that moment.
I am. And I would have.
Did you watch that Dynamite Kid thing?
Those Dark Side of the Rings are real. They're
pretty good.
They're good, man.
By the way, both of his daughters can get it.
But those things are so depressing, man. You're just like the fucking Grizzly Smith one.
Well, yeah, but that's
Jesus Christ.
You can't. You can only go up from there. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think you're ever gonna.
No, you can't go any lower. I mean, I would know. You know what?
Someone out there is like, hold my beer.
No, man. I listen to that stuff and I go, it's funny. A story is a story. It doesn't matter what day, age, year, culture. A story is a story. It's just the details of the story that will make the current listening or watching audience react the way you want them to watch. But a fucking story's a story.
I feel though that there's more of a benefit. Those are fine, but I think there's more of a benefit. The reason I said Bubba and Mark Henry is that both are still kind of currently in the business, actively. And they are trying to be open-minded. And I think that they've kind of made the transition to accepting that we're never going back. No one ever goes back. If you're holding your breath hoping they go back to an earlier time of doing things.
No, absolutely
so
not.
it's like if you love wrestling, you either evolve or you're gone. And you're gone now.
Yeah.
These guys, I think, have evolved with the business. They're still with it. The most impressive thing about Mark Henry, I was listening to a podcast of his, I think with Renee Young, and real recent, why he went to AEW and stuff like that. This guy is going to be a tremendous asset for them that WWE didn't even know they had. And he points out like all the things he was doing without getting paid by them. And like he rattled off a list of fucking people. And I can't remember anyone but Braun Strowman now. But like just a list of people that Mark Henry found for the WWE could fucking load a roster. And you'd be like, this is fucking a Class A roster.
You see Strowman's asking price?
And well, that's I think he tweeted corrections on that.
Oh.
Like, like let's handle the truth here. But before we get to that, and he's the kind of guy, this is how professional Mark Henry is. He has a podcast about wrestling. So he said he's the only guy in the business right now that literally watches every single fucking product so he could talk about it intelligently. He's like, I watch 17 hours of wrestling every week. Oof. I watch everything that's televised, everything on TV, including New Japan, all that stuff, so that every week he can show up and be as prepared as possible. And I think you get a guy, and so he's going to AEW to do everything. Public relations, charity, education. Back, he's going to help people that need help or looking for help. He's not going to go and he's not going to be an agent where it's like you tell people how to do their match. Yeah. And then when they do it wrong, you're barking at them. But if anyone wants input, he's going to give you the input and then explain why and give you examples. And he's going to have examples of everything, like from whether it's a match from the 50s or a match from the 90s or a match from today. He's that much of a fucking historian on this shit too, which I didn't know any of this about him.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. And he's, and so it may be just that little interview, that like 18-minute clip from an hour conversation with Nate Young made me want to start listening to his podcast.
Yeah.
And but he's a guy that's really open-minded about the current talents. Even like a Darby Allin, he's like, that guy's got everything. I mean, he just, obviously, without saying it publicly, he's going to pull the kid in the back and say, A, you need to protect your longevity of your career. B, you need to bulk up a little because one, you're going to look more like a wrestler, but two, it'll also help protect the longevity of your career if you're not a brittle 90-pound guy. But that's going to be private stuff. But he obviously has evolved with the business enough where when he looks at those people, he does have your attitude towards it. Which comes, even Cornette, I think it comes from a bitter place a little bit. I don't know.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying. When you guys, more than just the community aspect, I come over and watch these things because I'm just like, all right, well, it's
A
been
little curiosity, I'm sure.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to hate wrestling, but it's just how it happened. And, like, there's moments, man. There's cool moments that happen that go, like, I thought, and this is where, like a Cornette totally differs. He thought the whole Sting thing was fucking terrible. He thought Sting looked horrible. He thought the whole thing was awful.
That's because he doesn't go in open-minded with anything.
But we all watched it and went, wow, that was really cool.
And, like, if you're refusing to be accepting the fact that the man's 62 years old,
Yeah, exactly.
then what are we talking
Yeah.
about? If you're not grading on a sliding scale beginning with that,
Yeah.
then why am I listening to your opinion of the match?
So in that aspect, I totally don't agree with him because I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I thought that was one of the highlights of. I thought for his age, especially for someone who fucking bumped for 15 years, I was like, God damn!
Yeah.
At 60, don't ask me to bump because the answer is
everyone,
no.
everyone else in the ring was super competent and wasn't
Everyone-
relying on Sting to carry them.
Everyone did their job
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was a fun 15 minutes
Yeah.
that also went too long. But
Every match was.
it had
For
a
us.
very, very good
But
finish.
I'm an old man,
Yeah.
and I'm like 4 hours, midnight. Those kind of words start to like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what it is. If it's
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame or whatever.
Yeah, you're like,
you know what I mean? You're like,
So, yeah, man. I mean, I try. Now, like, when it comes to the WWE stuff, it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard.
you don't have to apologize for that. It's abysmal. It's abysmal what they're doing.
Man.
It's abysmal.
It's
completely
not wrestling.
It's completely unwatchable.
Yeah.
If I don't have that on the DVR, listen, I have it on DVR every week, and I know that even a 3-hour show, I can fast forward through and get through the whole show in like a good 30 minutes. If everything's dreadful, I'll stop for the promo so I understand the storyline. I'll check in on some matches to see if there's anything worth watching. But most of the time, I'm just scanning through the entire fucking show. And I still can't, some weeks, find the fucking like inner strength to do it.
Yeah.
Some weeks, I just delete it without watching it because I'm like, I can't. There's nothing there anymore.
And it's funny because I'll catch snippets from here and there because now that AJ and fucking Blake made me open the Sean Prime page for the first time in fucking years. And
It's so funny that you went and actually kept kayfabe and commented on that whole discussion where they were trying to call you out with your gimmick
Yeah.
page instead of with your just going out
fuck it.
as Marco.
Yeah. Because I don't have Grayson as a or Gator Boone as a fucking friend.
Well, I didn't either, but I still saw the.
Oh.
I could have commented on it. Still, it's not like he's private. He's being a pro wrestler, so he's not gonna have a private page. You know.
I watched that full video. Once we
full video?
the full video of that match,
Which match?
the match that started this all when he was the thing of him and the link because it was too.
Oh, I never even watched it.
AJ posted. AJ commented on that on the post of the video.
I didn't even realize it was a video.
Yeah,
I just saw it, like, shit talk.
this little fucking methed out fucking skater boy kid that he was working wrestling and hashtag quotations
Hashtag. There's no
whatever
quotes.
and I from a very critical eye I watch his stuff and I'm like I'll say this about the guy. I was like, all right, well, you're trying something different. His finish, he grabs you in like a front face lock after some stupid moves. He's trying though. He's trying to be inventive. He's trying to do something different. So he hits you with like this reverse DDT, and then he does another thing. I can't remember. It didn't look great, but I was like, oh, if you sold it right, it wouldn't be terrible. But then he grabs you in a front face lock on the mat, and he does gator rolls, and he just rolls back and forth with you on the ring. Then spins you on your belly, wraps your arms behind your back, sits on top of you, and puts you in a chin lock. And then you
Like he's like a fucking Indian putting a gator wrestling show on.
and I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that.
So it's like one of those things where I look at it and listen because I knew him as a
You're just like, why is he gotta look like me? While he's
yeah. and for everybody out there who doesn't know, he does not look like me. He's a bigger gentleman.
No, I'm just saying he like.
But his gimmick
he's
is
emulating you.
He's very much
styled
so.
after
He
you.
very much so stylized his self after me. But I'm watching his work and everything, and there's the part of my mind I'll never be able to turn off. Where I'm like, I'd get a match out of him. It'd be short. We could do it. But then that leads to those dangerous areas.
Can you imagine like? You think he can handle you working snug with him?
I don't give a fuck. No,
not worried about that. But you think he's his whatever journey through the business, so to speak, as it's been now. You think he can handle that, or you think?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who we trained, how we trained. I don't know anything about the guy. I knew he was a fan of mine.
I'm just curious because I know you would prefer to do that. Not because you want to hurt him, but like that you want to have that kind of a match. That looks good like that.
Yeah. Oh no, and that's the other thing. That's like the biggest thing that stops me for a lot. It's like I don't want to pull back because I know the commitment it takes, and I know where I would want to be to even consider it. So I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, man, it had better be fucking worth it. And I liked really fucking like stiffer style fucking matches where you laid it the fuck in. It's like if I didn't know Billy like personally and there was like years of history, like if I just knew him as Billy Vibes the wrestler and I was just a worker, I'd totally want to work Billy. But while I would love to work Billy, I could never work Billy because he would go out of his way to torment me. Like he's going to do to AJ when they eventually get in the ring. And I'm like, I don't want to get publicly humiliated out there.
Well, I feel like you would like, you might like, you guys might like get a little snugger and snugger to the point where Billy finally is like, all right. And then he's going to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's like, all right, is this how, he'd be like, okay, Prime wants to go there.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah. And then before long, I'm actually fighting for my life.
You're competing with Bobby Rogers for the most blood loss in
Exactly.
a Billy Fives match.
So I'd rather just buy Billy a beer after the show and just forego all that nonsense.
Just share stories and
Yeah, exactly. I'm perfectly fine with that.
pick his brain a little bit.
But like I would like if you were to tell me like, hey, listen, we're gonna pay you to do this, and in 7-8 months you're gonna have a match. Who do you want to work?
I try. Listen.
Huh?
For that first Ronin show. Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you this. For our first Ronin show, when we were trying to get people on board to do matches,
Yeah,
I reached out to Billy,
I remember that
and he's like, "Well, who?"
because I told you he's like Billy's not gonna do that shit.
He was interested. He listened to me. I just didn't have anything that interested. It was that kind of period where he wasn't actively like involved, like with Gangrel here.
Yeah,
Where he did, like he was kind of like the joints were a little less lubricated at that point,
Yeah.
I think, and so it was going to take more to get him off the couch to do a match, to get Testaverde to come back to throw some balls for the Jets, and he's like, well, he was kind of like, well, who you thinking? And I listed you, and he was like, nah, he wasn't interested in any of the names I suggested, and he was like, but he was like, he was appreciative. And he was like, and if you guys need any help with the show or whatever, just let me know. So, I was like, so I always had in mind, like, if we were going to be running, which I never got to be involved with, that Billy would have been a good guy backstage to be an agent or whatever, or to help or whatever.
Absolutely.
Or to just fucking police the locker room, whatever it
God.
took.
That first show was easy though.
But I did put your name out there and suggested it, and he was like, nah. Because he didn't know you at the time.
Yeah, he didn't know me at the time.
We didn't start socially hanging out with him until after that.
No. He knew me from.
I mean, he knew you, but had he ever like
no
right?
His last memory of me at that point was probably the old FOW stuff.
Right.
Like he paid attention to any of the shit that went
Right.
on in ICW. None of that nonsense.
Yeah. So
So yeah, no, he years later, when I actually fucking look like a wrestler. So yeah. No man, I mean,
No, because I remember like we were out one night. And I think he like had some validating thing he said to you, or something like that.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Billy's been very sparse with that, but he makes it count.
Well, it's usually like Anthony said it. He'll have a kind moment followed by, but I'd be glad to backhand you.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, or
He can't
chop
let
you
you-
in the
he's not-
chop you in the throat.
He's
or,
not going to let you rest in that for too long.
or kick you in the head or something. Right.
But like, it's funny because I look at like a Gator Boone, that kind of stuff like that, like that whole situation, and I was like, I would have taken that challenge. Because fuck it, why not? Because the only other option is work some dude who actually like wants to do something. Like that kid would do whatever I asked him to do. That would be the easiest match in the world to call. I have all the creative control. All he has to do is be where he needs to be and do the things he needs to do.
Crash test dummy.
But I'll put him over. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, he will never look better. And it'll be like a good moment for him. So I'd be all about some shit like that, as opposed to just being booked for a show like, hey, we booked you against fucking what's his face, and it's gonna be whatever. It's gonna be a match. But like, there's nothing behind it. There's no fun. It's just like, I had a match. We called some spots, and but I didn't really get to do my thing. And I think my thing is, I either get to do my thing, or why are we even talking? Because that's the only thing that really gets to
The
me.
irony is, every time you thought you were going to get to do your thing,
Never
you didn't
happens.
Get to do your
And
thing.
that's why we're sitting here
whether
right
we're
now.
talking to Craig Classic,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I've been
comeback.
let down so many fucking times by people who, I got this, yeah, Prime, we're going to do the thing. Oh, okay. And then I always show up to do my
And
part.
you're like, where's the thing?
Where's the thing? The thing never showed up. Ah, fuck. Very Seinfeld-esque.
And I'm standing there laughing, grabbing my dick, going, "I got your thing right here."
and that's why I left my boots in the ring one time, because I was just like, I'm done with chasing the thing.
Yeah.
I'm done with chasing the thing. It gets to the point where after a while you become that guy in the locker room, where it's just like, oh yeah, why won't he stop? We all know that guy. We currently know some that guys.
There's a lot of those guys.
There's a lot of that guy. A lot of that guy. So I told myself earlier on I was never going to be that guy, and I kept going like, well, I thought the other day I was like, well, what would have happened with all this shit? Because like at some point, like with AEW, like all these jobs opened up with all these promotions on TV and stuff, and I've seen some people that I walked the fucking that I worked with, and they're on TV in various places, and I'm like, would it have worked? But then I think about where the business is and who these people are and how soft they are, and I'm like, nah, you'd have fucked it up at some point.
No, because I've seen your customer service bullshit.
Yeah, but I don't know
at work.
But that's fine. It's in the ring. You have to understand, it's in the ring where I just couldn't do it anymore. Like, I'll work like a Dave. I'll work a Stevie. There's certain people I'll work forever. I would love to be in the ring with them all. Dude, working Dave, those are some of the most fun matches I had. Dave is fantastic to
Gangrel.
work with. Gangrel, yeah. And I hope he felt the same. He seemed to. We had the great moment where he was making Stevie's life a miserable hell.
Yeah.
So, I just have to base myself. But yeah, no, I see that. But then you have to work like, hey man, I need you to work like Mark would be like, I need you to work a student or something. And you get in the ring with the guy and you're like, all right, why are you so soft? Like why you whine when I hit you with a clothesline or and that's the thing. It's just
there's nothing fulfilling about that.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
Because I love wrestling. No one understands wrestling's fake more than I do. But I also understand that at its best, for me, wrestling's also a fucking sport. And if you treat it like that, at the same time you have entertainment value, that's when you get the best wrestling. And it seems to me that on TV, you always sacrifice one or the other. Like, it's either really entertaining and wrestling is on the window, or we give you nothing but wrestling, but then the show is garbage to watch because there's no fucking, there's no characters, there's nothing. There's just two guys in the ring fucking doing what we all know, it's a stunt show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun stunt show, but without having any kind of relatable characters or anything, it's kind of boring. Although, I could watch like the old Dynamite Kid stuff for fucking ever, the old Bret Hart stuff forever, and those guys had the personality of a fucking dead possum. So
Yeah.
there you go. I still love watching. I think Benoit's one of the best guys to watch for intensity in the ring. It's just really hard to watch a Benoit match and not have your mind wander.
That's true. I mean, the irony was that, again, me and Jackie with the autograph stuff back in the late 90s and early 2000s, I interacted with Benoit a good 20, 25 times. Always super cool, dude.
Yeah.
Always super cool, dude. So yeah, it's weird because I have also not like those guys. I have no relationship with the man, but a lot of like personal interactions with him, brief ones, but whatever. That and brief conversations with him. That is, it throws you for a loop. I can watch the match and I get like the nostalgic thing because it's a guy I liked personally because I had some interactions with him, and then like you said, the mind wanders. You're like, I shouldn't romanticize him too much because he did.
And the mind doesn't start to wander for me, to be honest with you, until
he does a flying headbutt.
Well,
and you're like, there's the brain damage.
Well, yes, but for me, it's after the double down when they start shooting finishes at each other.
Yeah.
And it's always that first time he puts on the crossface.
Yeah, well.
It's just like, fuck! Now this match isn't fun anymore. So, this is an odd segue. But it's now been 31 weeks, Ben.
Oh, my God. We'll close with this.
It's now been 31 weeks. Baby Sylvie is...
We haven't done this in a
hot minute, man. In a hot minute. But I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, gotta bring it back. Because we're getting close to the end there.
Are we in the end game?
We're in the end game, buddy. We are in the end game.
Oh my God, your life's about to fucking be over.
At this point, the wife, I think she's over this pregnancy as well.
Yeah.
We need the baby into the world. But as of right now, Ben, my baby daughter is as big as a coconut.
Wait, a coconut with the husk or without the husk?
It just a picture of the coconut.
Oh, without the nut, not
Yeah.
the whole like outer thing.
I don't know, maybe the whole outer thing.
Well, they're showing a picture right there, so don't be like, I don't know.
Okay, well,
That's
then,
not what falls off a tree, dude.
Oh no! No, my baby's not that big. As big as a crystal ball, or
Well, it's basically the same
or
thing.
A fanny
it's
pack.
two round fucking fanny pack.
Ooh,
An empty one or a full one.
this is a weird fanny pack they chose. They chose it like a cheap. It says Explorer on it. It's like this is like the bottom basement kids fucking
no, that's
fanny pack.
Totally appropriate for a worker. How many wrestlers still wear fanny packs to this day?
Oh man,
You need it with your Zubaz pants.
those Zubaz so comfortable. The best. They're the best pants. They really are the best pants. And mine are at this point way too. I was like, I gotta re-up.
With those purple ones?
Yeah, I need a new pair. The purple ones of they've had a life. Oh my God, fucking. Yeah, no.
All right, so your baby is. That was a lazy one. They picked two round objects that were basically the same.
Yeah, coconut, crystal ball, and it was a crystal ball from one of the Harry Potter movies, the Prisoner of Azkaban or whatnot. But I'm like, as a crystal ball is a crystal ball. They're all the same.
I mean,
they don't have to specific because it's the same.
I guess they could be different sizes, but whatever.
I don't know. I think crystal balls are like this uniform shaped. Bowling ball.
Well, bowling ball is way bigger than a coconut. Okay, so right now you've already got the wrong size ball.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe crystal balls do come in shapes and sizes I'm not aware of.
If your wife passes a bowling ball, I'm there for it.
God, I hope not.
What? Hope I'm not there for it, or hope she doesn't pass a bowling ball?
Both, Ben, both.
I'm for sure not. If I didn't come to the baby shower, I'm not coming to the...
Oh, my God. I don't know if there's a pay-per-view or a fight that's too close and we're over here.
Oh, my God. Please don't have her water break on our fucking couch.
That's awesome.
Should I... How funny of a rib would it be if you guys came over and I had like a whole a whole couch covered in the granny plastic?
I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you.
What are you doing at home?
Because here's the thing.
You got like painters tarps everywhere?
I'm not. Listen.
You know those long rolls, like 1,000 feet of fucking.
I'll wait until there'll be a time where I'll try to put. I'm here. You're gonna
lose your deposit on that carpet, aren't you?
I'm very wary about pulling a rip like that.
Oh, you don't have carpet in your room.
No. I'm very wary about pulling a rip like that with her. I'm more like, hey, whatever happens, because when women are 7, 8 months into pregnancy, they emotionally like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful.
By the way, I have in my cart that I have not purchased the 500 plastic cockroaches.
Oh, I without a doubt. It rolled up on the somehow it rolled up on one of my feeds.
What?
On the marketplace in Facebook, someone's selling cockroaches.
Like real ones?
No, like the fake ones.
Yeah.
And I just went, "Hey, Natalia." And she's like, "What?" And I just flipped it over to him like, "Your future." And she goes, "Stop!" She knows.
I can't wait to
she knows.
to glue one to the handle of her car door. There's just gonna every now and then there'll be cucarachas. I'll put googly eyes on it. I got a bunch of those too.
I'm picturing those little cockroaches with fucking guys. All right, man.
I still have that whole box of googly eyes.
Oh,
I can't wait.
I'll have to go through them.
Have to fucking use them on some cockroaches. That's gonna be fantastic. All right, that's enough of this.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right, let me fucking.
Until next week, everybody. Like, subscribe, all that shit you don't do anyway.
Oh, you bitter bitch.
Okay, bye.